Hello and welcome back to another video. My name is Rasboras for Pondlife Aquatics and Tropical Fish London, and in today's video I am going to be showing you the latest stock we have in store and talking about some of my favourite fish that we have at the moment. Let's get into it. We had a really beautiful fish order in this week. So as always, let's start at the first stop in our room when you get here, South America. For what feels like the first time in a really long time, and I'm really happy I can say this, we got some really beautiful guppies in. We've had some issues with guppies in the past where occasionally their colors can be a bit off, their tails can be a bit nipped, but these guppies that came in today, they are Santa Dumbos and they are absolutely beautiful. They're really vibrant in color, they've settled in beautifully, they don't seem to be having any issues, there's no lethargy. I'm really excited that we got these in. I think they're going to sell really well. I'm not usually a guppy guy, but they're really beautiful. If you need to know how to keep them, then we've got a video in our species spotlight about Poecilia reticulata, and I will link that down in the description. We've also got some really beautiful London tap water tank-bred Platys that a client of ours has brought in. They're absolutely stunning. We've had them in quarantine for about a week now. We've had absolutely no issues. So they are now in the main fish room. They're ready to sell. I think that people are going to really enjoy them. We've also got the carried on things from a few weeks ago of our flame tetras. We've got some black widows. We've got some fresh neons in, really beautiful colors. Sometimes when you get neons in, they don't color up immediately, but these have come in particularly nice. No sign of neon tetra disease, no sign of anything. So definitely worth checking those out. We've also got some really stunning lemon tetras. We topped those up alongside some really pretty cardinal tetras. Neons I've already mentioned, and we've also got this really stunning German ancestris. Some people mistake German reds for albino ancestris. It's not the case. They are their own distinct species, and the ones that are in the tank behind me alongside our neons are doing really well. They've settled in beautifully. Hopefully I can get some nice footage for you guys and I'll put that in over the top of this. Also, back by popular demand, we have tank-bred Similis, violet or smudge spot Corydoras, whatever you want to call them. These came in last time and one of our new customers and friend of the channel came in, bought up the entire lot of them. He's reported such amazing things with them. He said that the Similis that he took home, they've been really active, not timid at all, like a lot of things online can say. And I'm happy to say that these Similis have come in are absolutely stunning. I'm so happy with them. I'm probably going to take some of these home myself. I'd love to set up a little breeding program. There is something really special about Smudge Spot Corys. I think they're just that little bit different. You don't see them all that often, and the fact that we've managed to get some tank breds in that are already adapted to London tap water, it's absolutely amazing. I'm so happy that we have these in stock. In terms of other Corys, we've got some really beautiful Panda Corydoras in. I know pandas are pretty common, but it's always nice to have a variety. We have some peppers, pandas, and also fresh out of the old quarantine space. There was nothing wrong with them whatsoever. We just didn't have space in the tanks out front. We have some Sterbai Corydoras. We put them in with our really stunning angel tank, and they've been doing really great. Everything in that tank has been doing really wonderfully. We've got some really fat, happy, active Sterbai Corydoras alongside, again, just stunning tank-bred angelfish. They are fully adapted to London tap water. And if I had a big enough tank, I'd be keeping angels. I think they're so full of character. They're such stunning fish. And I think this tank in particular at the moment is such a happy and just a good vibe. That's it in terms of new things that we've got in South America. But I did just briefly want to touch on our Uaru. I personally love Uaru. I've loved them since I was a little kid. I've always wanted to keep a massive tank of them. They are a little bit more specialist in the sense that you need a larger aquarium for them, but I'm hoping that we can find someone who has an adequate space tank for them. Uaru is such an amazing species. They are almost vegetarians. They're more like a detrivore. You can feed them pretty much everything. The only thing is you would have to keep them in a hardscape only tank because these guys will readily destroy pretty much any species of plant, even things like Anubias that tend to have a waxy leaf, which usually deters a lot of fish from eating them. These guys just shred it to pieces. But if you do have a tank that is suitable for Uaru, we have some really, really beautiful stock in at the moment, and it's worth coming down and seeing them. Underneath them, our discus tank is looking great. Everything's been feeding really happily. We're running a little bit low on discus at the moment. We only keep hard water bred discus because we realize that a lot of people, particularly in London, don't have the facility to keep our own remineralized. So we just want to be able to offer people an easier alternative to keeping discus effectively. So that's what we do here. In our North America section, we have our Rainbow Shiner tank. It is now exclusively a Rainbow Shiner tank. We are completely out of fathead minnows, unfortunately. We aren't sure if we're going to keep this as a North American tank. We realize it's kind of a bit niche. Rainbow Shiners need quite a significant amount of space, quite large aquariums to keep them happily, but they will readily breed if you have a big enough space for them, if you have adequate filtration. These guys are really stunning. They're really fat and happy, and I think to the right people, they will make an absolutely stunning fish. I have been toying with the idea of keeping some North American crayfish, but honestly don't want to run the risk of crawfish disease. We'll see how that goes as a plan. Now, in Asia, we have had some really nice things in at the moment. A few things that I've personally never seen before. I will start at the fish tanks closest to you rather than the ones closest to America. On the left here, we have some neon blue loach. I will get the Latin name and put that here for you. I've never kept these before. I've been told that they have very similar requirements to coolie loach. They are more of a diminutive loach species, so keeping them in nano aquaria is possible. When I say nano aquaria, it's usually 85 liters plus. I will put all the requirements once I've done some research on them next to me. I don't want to be spouting off nonsense about something that I would lie about. I have never kept these before. I'm super excited that we have them in. We have them in the same tank as Siamese flying fox, which we haven't had in ages. They are a great algae eater. Again, you need a slightly larger aquarium for them, but if you have algae issues and you want to get on top of that, Siamese flying fox are an excellent shoaling species that will really help cut down on your algae. Moving on, we've obviously still got our goby tank. I'm pretty sure we got some lipstick gobies and some black kumpai gobies in here. Stunning fish, definitely worthwhile keeping. I did a little post on our Instagram where I gave the requirements of how to keep neon blue gobies. Definitely a species that are worth keeping. I know Practical Fish Keeping did an article on lipstick gobies a few months ago now, and I found it fascinating. I found out loads of stuff that I didn't know about them. The fact that you can try and create biomes for them, so shallow aquariums, lots of rounded rocks, lots of flow through them to get the absolute best out of them. We try and keep our oxygen levels as high as possible in our goby tanks, and they seem to be really thriving. We've got red-tailed sharks as well alongside our white cloud mountain minnows. For me, this tank is the most exciting that we've got this week. We've got loads of Galaxy Rasbora in. If you have been waiting for us to get Galaxy Ras, or Celestial Pearl Danios, whatever you want to call them, we have them in stock now. Come and get them. I feel like I don't need to explain too much to people who already know about Galaxy Ras, why you should be keeping them. But for those of you who don't know about Galaxy Rasbora, they are a diminutive Rasbora species that can be kept in nano aquaria. And when I say nano aquaria, I mean like 25 liters plus. I'd probably sway around 35 plus, but 25 liters plus you can keep Galaxy Rasbora. They are stunning. They have these bright orange fins with purple bodies and golden spots, and are really quite easy to start breeding in London tap water. I did it when I was younger. I absolutely want to do it again one day when I've got my own place. If you were looking to set up a starter aquarium that was just a species tank, I'd absolutely be looking at possibly getting like a Home 65, Superfish Home 65 aquarium, setting that up with a beautiful, densely planted aquascape, and then getting a whole bunch of Galaxy Rasbora, and they are so stunning. And we're keeping them in the same tank as some really, really pretty honey gouramis. And then something that I feel like a lot of people have never kept. We have Sidthmunki Botia Loaches. If you don't know what Sidthmunki Botias are, I first encountered them when I was really quite young, I think maybe 12 years old, when we first started getting from one of our suppliers called Neil Hardy. They're a diminutive loach species that are very similar to chain loach, but much smaller. They readily eat lots of swim bladder snails and tend to be a little bit easier to keep in terms of size requirements than a lot of your other loach species. They definitely prefer to be kept in groups, as I hope I can show you guys. They are absolutely sticking together, but they are not bothering the Rasbora at all. They're not bothering the gourami, and this tank is really just looking quite happy. I'm really glad that we're able to keep fish like this at the moment. I'd just like to say thank you to everyone who's seen our videos and social media and come in and support us. It means the world to us. Thank you so much. It means that we can keep getting in new and exciting fish and teaching people how to keep fish effectively. I don't want to get too preachy about it, but seriously, thank you so much. The fact that there's an extra 100 people subscribed to the channel in the last week alone, it means so much. It genuinely means so much. Thank you. I nearly forgot to say, not only do we still have some, we are getting a little bit lower on our Kabutai, so green neon Rasbora. We have Mosquito Ras in stock. Finally, we've been trying to get Mosquito Rasbora or Chili Rasbora in stock for weeks. A gentleman came in just earlier today. If you're watching this, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Came in and bought 25. We still have plenty more. Chili Rasbora have probably been our most requested species of fish for a long time. They are a stunning, shoaling, little diminutive species of Rasbora that like to be kept in groups of 12 plus. They can be kept in relatively small aquariums, so they can be kept in smaller groups in your 25 plus liter aquariums. However, I would personally like to see them kept in like 35, 40 liter plus aquariums, big shoals that allow them to really show off their stunning colors. I absolutely love Chili Rasbora. I'll see if I can find a little video of the tank I used to breed them in. They were absolutely stunning. One of the favorite fish I've ever kept. Definitely worthwhile keeping, especially in nano aquaria. So super exciting that we have those in at the moment. Over in our Siamese fighting range, we unfortunately sold the only placat fighter we have in at the moment, but we do have an absolutely stunning selection of super deltas. I feel like the breeding of better fish has been getting better and better, pardon the pun, recently. There are just such stunning colors on some of the fish that came in today. And I think that we should hopefully sell quite a few this weekend. We have really stunning Siamese fighters in at the moment. I'll get some really beautiful footage for you guys and I'll put it over the top of this. You don't need me to explain about Siamese fighting fish. And if you do, we have a species spotlight video, which I will link in the description below. In Ariane's aquascape, we have obviously Galaxy Rasbora, since they are the fish that he got to put in this tank, alongside Daisy Ricefish and Siamese Fighter. It's really just a beautiful little aquascape. Just briefly, we still have some really beautiful little pygmy pea pufferfish in it at the moment. If anyone's still interested, we've had a fair few people message in and ask us if we still keep them in stock. Yes, we do. We sold a few of them, but we definitely have a small group still available. So if you were looking to keep a species only pea puffer tank, then absolutely come in. We have them. There's so many fish. There's so many fish that I want to keep at the moment that I'm very lucky I have this shop, because if I didn't, I would absolutely just have a house full of aquariums. I already do. My bedroom is already absolutely stuffed full of them. But I think we're really fortunate to be stocked the way we are at the moment, between having some seriously stunning gouramis. We've got our ghee puffers. We've got some Asian rummy nose alongside. Also loads of rabbit snails, Nero snails, anything you need. Algae eaters all came in this week alongside Amano shrimp. So all your bread and butter stuff, we definitely still have in. I do just briefly want to touch on our goldfish tank. We haven't purposefully got any stock in at the moment, but we do have 2 giant Ryukins that have been brought in by a customer that are for sale. They are in amazing nick. They were bought from us when they were about yay big, and now they're absolutely huge. I hope we can find them a good home. They are on sale at the moment. If you're in the market for some really beautiful thrown on in London tap Ryukins, then we've got a couple for you. I will also say for this week, we have a fish that if you have a goldfish tank, we have a very aggressive Ryukin goldfish that I do not have footage of, and the quarantine room is locked up for the evening, so I can't get it in time for this video. There is a little mustachioed fella that is super aggressive. He's been attacking other goldfish and has had to be separated. If you have a space for a particularly aggressive Ryukin goldfish, then come down, you can have them for free. Just tell them you've seen the video, you want the aggressive goldfish, and you can absolutely have them. I'm gonna skip over Australia today because there is genuinely nothing new that came in. We were trying to get some threadfin rainbow fish. They unfortunately didn't come in. That was going to be the new thing. We do have obviously Bosmani rainbows, Praecox rainbows, but I have shown those quite extensively on the channel. But if you are in the market for some Bosmanis, if you are in the market for Praecox rainbows, Peacock gudgeon, we still have them in stock. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get some threadfins in the next few weeks, depending on how we sell through our current stock. In Africa at the moment, we have our Lamprologus ocellatus. I just wanted to touch on them again because we haven't sold any lamps. However, I genuinely think they are some of the best fish we've ever had in. We have some shells that if you buy them this weekend, you can take home shells for free. We will give them away with them. I bought escargot shells, so food safe. They will only release calcium really, really slowly into the water column. But because these guys are shell dwellers, they feel most at home when they are given space within shells themselves. So we have provided that for them. I've been having the best time watching these guys go in and out and make their little dens. One of them is really attached to the skull that's in there, hence why we're not removing it. He has made his home in there, and I'm pretty sure they are breeding up. If you are contemplating keeping a Tanganyikan cichlid tank, I would just be jumping at the idea of keeping ocellatus. I think they're stunning. I absolutely love them. And the fact that you can keep them in like a sub 50 litre aquarium, insane. I don't know how they're still here. We've also got our hoplo catfish. They are such a stunning species of cats. I have no doubt we will be selling through those. We got loads of armored shrimp in. We sold quite a few of them almost immediately. Our killifish are really up in color at the moment. If you want to keep some steel blue killies, ours are in full breeding mode. Absolutely stunning. We didn't get any more frogs in, unfortunately, but hopefully we'll be getting them next week. Again, depends how we sell through. And finally, there is our plant tanks. We got a really tight little order in this week. I wasn't sure how well we were going to sell through plants. We sold through so many plants over the last week. So we effectively just have all new stock, some old Rotala and some old Alteranthia recinae. We're probably going to be feeding that to the Uaru this weekend, but we have some really stunning Anubias barteri barnana. We got Limnophilia sessiflora, Hygrophilia polysperma. If you are in the market for some beautiful 4/mid-ground plants, we got my favorite Cryptocorin species, Cryptocorin novelli. It's this really lovely button little Cryptocorin species that if you never kept it before, it needs a little bit more light than really low light species of crypt, but definitely worth keeping. We also have Bacopa compact, which only grows about 15 centimeters and you can keep it quite stumpy. It goes quite bushy if you keep it cut down. Definitely worth keeping. We've still got a few of our clay pots of Anubias in. They've sold incredibly well. If you didn't watch the last video, we have these amphora pots from Aquafleur, which are actual clay pots that have Anubias growing out of them. They're about £15 each. They're super worth the money. They're actually rooted on is the thing. Usually when you buy plants that are attached to wood, they will be glued on or tied on. These are just grown straight onto pots. They're absolutely stunning. And I'm also super excited to say, in terms of new dry goods, we are stocking FloraGrow by Colombo, which is under the same parent company as Aquafleur. I have been experimenting with their Carbo and Grow at home, and I've been getting really amazing results. It's really affordable fertilizer and CO2 alternative. We try not to stock things that we haven't tested out personally ourselves. So the fact that we have 2 fertilizers that are pump action is the big thing for me. The fact that I don't have to worry about using a syringe every day. I can literally just pump straight into my aquarium. We've been using the Carbo in our plant tank here, and we've been getting some really amazing growth. Our Hygrophila polysperma that we got in a week ago was literally touching the surface of this aquarium, and we sold all of it. We also used some of it in a 5-foot aquascape that we did earlier this week for a school. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to film it. I will put a picture of it in here, but I think the aquascape came out beautifully, and it was largely with Aquafleur plants with some Aquadip in vitro species. So yeah, we've got a really beautiful, tight little selection at the moment. Next Thursday, we've got a much bigger plant order coming in, but personally, I think everything we have in at the moment is just top class. I'm so happy with the plants we've been selling through at the moment. The final things I want to touch on. We are an official stockist of NT Labs, Satis and Optimus, which are their new dechlorinator and high efficiency bacterial colonizers. I hope I said that correctly. They are effectively alternatives to things like Seachem Prime and Stability. I've personally been using Satis and Optimus in a lot of our clients' tanks. I've been using them in my tanks at home. I've had great results. The spread is really good for the price. I found that I've been having less algae issues in a lot of the tanks that I've been using them in. I don't know if that is just coincidence or if it's because we've been getting better results with them. I've also been using a hell of a lot of the Satis in our tanks here. It just makes me feel more secure knowing that there is a product that's got loads of beneficial bacteria. If we are getting new fish in, I know that I can literally just use the recommended dose of Satis in every single one of our aquariums, and it will help bolster up our filtration. And then obviously Optimus in every single one of our aquariums whenever we're doing water changes. Even though we already cycle our water before putting it in, all of our water is left to cycle before we then put it into our aquariums. Everything is reservoir fed so that we have pre-cycled water. In reality, we shouldn't have to use Optimus, but we do, just because it makes me feel more comfortable. It makes me know that there is no chlorides going into our water, and if there's any harmful ammonia, NT Labs claim that it makes it a non-gill burning ammonium, which I don't know how it works. I'm pretty sure it's magic, but I'm super excited to be stocking this. Thank you to NT Labs for giving us some free samples. We are now officially selling it. We were giving away little bottles of Satis and Optimus for orders over £30. I think we're still doing that. We might have run out of free samples. And that is it for a stock update from me here at Pondlife Aquatics and Tropical Fish London. Before I wrap up, I do just want to say thank you so much to the amazing reception that I had on the Back to Basics video that I put out last week. I didn't realize there was such a want and need for basic aquarium keeping. It really made me feel good about making these videos, and the fact that we've had people coming in and saying how much they're enjoying the videos, people buying fish from seeing the videos, it means the world to me. Personally, yeah, thank you. Seriously, thank you. I really hope that we see some more people come down and enjoy everything that we've been doing. If there's anything you want us to stock, drop us a comment. We've had plenty of people calling up, paying for fish, reserving them. We will hold on to fish. If you want something specific that you see in the video and you're worried that we're going to sell out, just give us a ring. We'll take payment over the phone and we will hold them specifically for you. If there's any specific fish that you want us to get in, drop me a message on our Instagram. It's at Pondlife Aquatics. I will get back to you as quickly as I can. If we can get it, we definitely will. We'll hold it here for you until you can come collect it. We've had a few people saying they would like to sell us fish to stock here, Tank-bred. Absolutely get in touch. It's not something we're against at all. We should hopefully be getting in some fresh stock from clients soon, which is super exciting. But for now, that's it from me here at Pondlife Aquatics and Tropical Fish London. Seriously, thank you so much. And I will see you again next week for this Pond Life.